Let's turn our attention now to service delivery issues in the Free State. The residents of Botshabelo, one of the largest townships in South Africa, do not have rail transport. They're also not happy with the backlog of RGP houses dating back to the 90s. And out of frustration, they have illegally occupied a piece of municipal land in Botshabelo West. For more on this, we are joined by City of Mangaung Executive Mayor Gregory Nthatisi. Mayor, good evening and thank you so much for joining us.
Good evening and good evening to your listeners.
Let's start on that. I mean, the issue of service delivery, I guess it's key to every municipality. It's key deliverable for you as a mayor. With the issues that we are mentioning now, issues of rail, issues of RDP, I mean, generally, to paint us a picture, where would you say you stand in terms of service delivery in the municipality?
Let me say, Mangaung, it's a city that has got a number of towns, included who is Botshabelo, yes, Bloemfontein and Tabanchu in the main. And we do have a problem like all other cities in the country. Let me unbundle this issue of residential needs and the development of dwellings. The pattern has been that our people will occupy the land and then government will follow, remove them forcefully. They come back again until such time that it would be given that 48 hours or the prescript of government has not been followed. And on the strength of that, then people will settle in those areas. And in most cases, you'll find that people will settle on areas that are either waterlogged or are inhabitable. With regard to the people of Botshabelo, indeed, they occupied a land that had been packed, surveyed, and meant to develop houses at various stages, middle and low income. But after they had occupied the land and there was no court order on them, I had a meeting with them on a number of occasions, and we have come to an understanding that because we do not have a place where we can remove them, as the law requires that if you remove people who have occupied the land, you must take them to a place where is an alternative place. We don't have such for now. So my interaction with them was that because the land was indeed meant to be a residential area, we will then start processing those that are on that land. But I want to qualify what kind of people are we processing. People who have got homes anywhere in the country and that upon being checked on the database are not allowed to be on that piece of land. Foreigners and people without IDs, we're not going to let them stay there. But South Africans who have got IDs and are in need of homes and have already occupied that land, we have instructed our officials to begin to process them to a point where we must begin to allow them to settle on that land informally until we have provided the land with the necessary infrastructure, and then they can start, those that have got the capacity to develop their own home, and upon receiving subsidies from the provincial government to start building for them. So the notion that we are in the move of removing them, we are simply saying as the municipality, we will support their stay there and help them to be authentically owners of those pieces of land, subject to them being the real needy individuals that must be helped by government.
Is this process, Mr. Mayor, already underway to authenticate those that, as you say, South Africans with valid papers that are already occupying the land?
You know, unlike, I don't know, I wouldn't even compare, but let me say, my way of doing things with my team is to interact with people. We have had 2 weeks back a live interaction and ascertained our people that we will give them the necessary support, but we also require them to give us that necessary support so that we must act responsible. And I must qualify why we had to do so. We do no longer want a situation where our people must forcefully occupy the land and then we follow. We are actually proactive in a sense that we are even looking for other pieces of land, pack them, and try and resource ourselves by providing the necessary infrastructure so that the need for the expansion, which has never been there before, when communities are growing, must be controlled by the municipality. So we are indeed in constant interaction with them, and we are doing the best we can.
So that process has started. Have you identified those people that can occupy that land, as you say, with the assistance from the municipality?
Look, in each and every area where we have got packed sites and people have occupied them, we have got what we would know as ward councillors, who are going to make sure, together with the officials in the area, who are going to make sure, and they are doing that as we speak, making sure that those that have occupied the land are the rightful people that we must cater for. And we have agreed with communities that they will give us support as those that will act greedy or are not supposed to be there by virtue of not being South Africans. When we act upon them, it shouldn't cause any havoc, because we'll be doing what is within the prescript of the law. And that's what we're going to do, and that's what we're doing.
And I mean, is this something that you're looking at? Because as I did mention in my introduction that it's an issue, Botshabelo, but are you looking at other areas within the Mangaung municipality where similar issues of RDP houses, of people that do not have homes, who are complaining about that? Or is it, in this instance, only Botshabelo that you're focusing on?
No, actually, like I said, it's a national problem. But let me speak to the metro I'm running.
Sure.
The problem that happened in the past was that private sector and middle income to high income land was identified to accommodate private development as well as mixed development that could not allow those that are penniless to begin to occupy the land. Yet communities were growing. Botshabelo was born in 1979. To date, the child who was born there should be 44 years old. And Botshabelo has never had any extra extension to accommodate the growing nature of the people. So is the case with Mangaung, with Bloemfontein, so is the case with Tabanchu. As we are handling the problem of Botshabelo, we are equally handling the problem of Tabanchu, Diversdorp. We are also handling the problem with regard to Bloemfontein. That expansion is there. That is why I was saying to you, we are now beginning to defocus from focusing on privately developed land where people can buy sites anytime they want, because the capacity of those that need those sites cannot afford them to buy sites that are readily available. So we are now deliberately taking a turn to ensure that we accommodate the needy people of South Africa, and we would want to stop a situation where they must precede us by forcefully occupying the land. We must actually make sure that where we are taking them, it is where they are going to stay and stay permanently, like those that are now at that piece of land called N8. Those people that are there and that deserve to be there, we are no longer going to touch them by way of removing them. We have, however, advised them that it would not be advisable to begin to put physical structures on a mortar and brick until we have ascertained how our pipes in terms of infrastructure are going to be run. We are trying to be hands-on in ensuring that we avoid a situation where we may not be, we may start conflicting with our people. We want to avoid conflict as much as we can.
But Mr. Mayor, in the interest of time, if I may just quickly move on to the issue of rail and transport, and residents complaining about fatal road accidents that are happening on the N8 national road. How are you addressing that in terms of, rail and making sure that there's adequate public transport for the citizens?
Look, we have a meeting that should be taking place between the Metro, the province, and the Minister of Transport. The issue of rail has been addressed in the past in a way to resuscitate the rail infrastructure. Given that it is available, it is there. It just has to be. We just have to, as the three spheres of government, work towards putting our efforts and resuscitate the rail infrastructure to a point where our people must have another mode of transport. But at the moment, the people of Botshabelo, Soutpan, and other areas, including Bloemfontein, they are being transported through a subsidized bus service called Interstate Bus Line, and other mode of transport that involves, amongst other things, our taxis, but not limited to. In that, Mangaung has been looking at other modalities with which we can ensure that when it comes to issues of transport, we do not suffer.
The issue of rail? Have you looked into the issue of rail?
Yes, like the rail infrastructure. Like I say, it's there. We do have a line. All what we need is that we need the necessary finance and the improvement of the modality of how such trains must actually be, decided upon in terms of what type of trains we need, their accessibility and the expansion to other areas that have grown into the city. But that would actually involve not Mangaung as the municipality per se. It is a competency that would need the province and need national government to be part of. So I've indicated that the Minister of Transport will be engaging here in this respect.
So what would you then say, Mr. Mayor, is the challenge? Is it the finances or the support from national that is slowing down the process, be it in the issue of transport and rail, be it in RDP, be it in water, and all the other issues of service delivery that the citizens are raising on a daily basis?
Look, I reckon what has to be done by the Metro is proper planning, which we are hard at work to ensure that we redirect the resources towards servicing our people diligently. And in what I'm saying is that, we only do not service our people through collections, but we also have grants that we must apply for, which we have, which come from national different department that would actually be competent in a specific area of development. So we are tapping with those monies to ensure that we address this growth that has come into our space, and in making sure that our people are serviced to the best of our ability. Yes, indeed, it's an issue that involves resources.
Mr. Mayor, we're going to have to leave it there, but thank you so much for joining us tonight. I appreciate your time.
I truly appreciate it, and thank you very much.
That is the mayor, executive mayor of the city of Mangaung in the Free State, Gregory Nthatisi, just talking to us about some of the issues that have been raised by citizens, particularly in the Botshabelo area, but also looking generally in the Mangaung area.